10 Women from WWE's Divas. Where are they now? Lasting from 2008 until 2016, WWE made a major shift in how it presented the women's division, as rather than being seen as traditional WWE superstars, they began to be branded as divas. It was a term that was meant to make them a bigger deal, highlighting their beauty and the drama they could bring into the ring all at once. Ultimately, it didn't catch on with fans, and it is now often seen in a negative context despite the great roster of women who competed during that time. Some divas became big stars while others faded away, with those who competed during this time all finding themselves in different places today. 10. Alicia Fox has recently returned to the wrestling world. She brought a lot of attitude to the Divas era. Alicia Fox was a staple of WWE's Divas era and someone who lasted much longer as she worked for the company for 17 consecutive years. She was often underrated in terms of what she could provide inside the ring and as a character, but Fox was always an excellent performer. After being released by WWE, it wasn't clear what would be next for her, but she has returned to the wrestling world and has begun taking bookings on the independent scene under the name of 9. Eve Torres helps women learn self-defense. She rose to the top of WWE. Eve Torres is someone who quickly rose to the top in WWE, winning over the hearts of the fans due to her work rate. She became a beloved babyface and an even better heel, putting together impressive in-ring performances and equally great work on the microphone. Since retiring, Torres has done a lot, having started a family, dabbled in acting, and becoming a WWE ambassador. She's a co-founder of a women's martial arts school that promotes self-defense, and she's also helped to launch a sleeping pillow business for people who travel a lot as well. 8. Molina has stayed connected to wrestling. She's the director of operations for Ultimate Women of Wrestling. Molina brought a lot of personality and in-ring skills throughout her time in WWE, and even though there were tales of backstage drama regarding her, she was certainly one of the biggest stars during this era. She put on some great matches and helped to drive a lot of attention to the division. While Molina is no longer wrestling, she is still heavily connected to the business. Molina regularly appears on independent shows in different roles such as guest referee, while she's also working as the director of operations for Ultimate Women of Wrestling. 7. Beth Phoenix has created a career in music. She has also added to her wrestling legacy. Beth Phoenix was someone who never truly fit into the Divas era, mainly because she's one of the best female wrestlers WWE has ever employed. Had she been around in the current generation, she would have been creating classic matches regularly and building an even bigger legacy than she did. Still, fans have been able to see her mix it up with a few of the current stars as she has wrestled sporadically in recent years. Meanwhile, she also launched her first album and showcased her musical talent to the world, while also concentrating on being a mom. 6. Maryse has become a reality star. She and The Miz have showcased their lives to people. Maryse personified the diva era in many ways, being brought in via the Diva Search competition. However, she went on to grow as a performer, learning both inside the ring and on the microphone how to get responses and reactions, which allowed her to have a great career. While she sporadically appeared in WWE alongside The Miz in recent years, her main focus has been on reality television, where she's the star of Ms. and Mrs. outside of entertainment. She has been building her name in the world of makeup, creating her own range of products. 5. AJ Lee has become an author and actor. Fans are hoping she might join CM Punk back in WWE. AJ Lee might have positioned herself as the anti-diva throughout her time with the company, but this was still the era she operated in. Lee was one of the biggest stars in WWE at that time, both in terms of her wrestling ability and with the characters she created that had a lot of memorable and entertaining moments. Lee hasn't wrestled since leaving WWE, but she has been very busy with a variety of projects. Whether it has been writing an autobiography, creating a comic book, or being involved in WoW as a commentator, with her latest role being in the acting world as part of the show Heels. 4. Leila is now focusing on real estate. Her wrestling days are over. Leila was an entertaining part of the Divas era, being someone who put together a lot of great work during her time in the company. Her run alongside Michelle McCool was a particular highlight, as the duo knew exactly how to get reactions from an audience, no matter what they did. Leila is retired when it comes to professional wrestling, and it is rare that she makes appearances at conventions or gives interviews. Instead, her focus is on working in the real estate business, which has become her job now. 3. Natalia remains a consistent force in WWE. She's teaming with Tegan Nox. Natalia was a big part of the Divas division, being a consistent part of the product at that time, and that's something that hasn't changed. Unlike many wrestlers from this era, Natalia remains with WWE and is still an active member of the roster competing at the highest level. She might not be getting pushed as the main event name in the women's division, but she's helping younger talent, especially her current partner Tegan Nox. Away from the ring, Natalia also trains wrestlers at her home ring, showcasing the passion she's got for the business. 2. Gail Kim is making an impact with TNA Wrestling. She is a producer for the company. WWE never managed to get the best out of Gail Kim, despite the fact she's one of the best wrestlers of her generation. Kim's best work always took place for TNA, with her feud against Awesome Kong being one of the greatest in women's wrestling history. TNA is where Kim has remained loyal over the years, and even though she is now retired as a wrestler, outside of a one-off appearance at Impact 1000, she continues to work for the company behind the scenes as a producer. 1. Emma is currently traveling the world. She's documenting it all on YouTube. Emma was a big part of the turn from the Divas era to the women becoming WWE superstars as part of the women's revolution, but she was around during the tail end of the Divas run as well. Her match against Paige helped usher in a change due to how good it was, but before that, she was dancing around on the main roster. Emma was recently released by WWE, and at the moment her future in the sport is unknown. However, audiences can still see what she's getting up to alongside her fiancé and former WWE superstar Riddick Moss as they're documenting their travels on YouTube.